Hello everyone, you are on my channel, and today, I will tell you about the film My Ghost Neighbor. This story began in 1928 during school field trip to the New Jersey Historical Museum. And it happened with a lover of breaking the rules, high school student B. Jenkins, which this habit led to the closed part of the exhibition, where she saw a ring divided into two. The girl took part of the ring with green stone, but being frightened by the guard who appeared, she did not have time to put it back, so she took it with her when B left the museum. She and the treasure were hit and killed by a car. The Sanchez family moves to New Jersey in 2024. Cole with his mother Katerina, and the guy looking at the old house where they will now live, finds a phonograph playing jazz in the attic, and during dinner, the Sanchezes hear a crash in the attic. But Cole doesn't see anyone there, but the ghost bee sees him and is indignant that he reacts to her. And pets. At the new school, the guy acts too modest, and even when the literature teacher Mr. Porter asks, has everyone in the class studied The Great Gatsby, he keeps his head down, although I read the novel from cover to cover. And after the lesson the teacher says to the new student that he was also modest at school, so he warns that the life of an invisible person is quite boring. Lydia meets Cole in the dining room. The granddaughter of the owner of an occult bookstore is obsessed with it herself. Therefore, she immediately assumes that someone dead is influencing the life of her classmate, and offers to somehow cleanse his aura. At home, Cole remembers as he and his father were playing guitars, he accidentally discovers a cache with a photo album in the closet. Inside are photographs of a certain Beatrix Jenkins, who previously lived in this house. And B herself is indignant at the fact that the guy is looking at her personal belongings and knocks out a ring from the museum from the album. Cole comes across a jewel and tries it on his finger, after which he begins to see a girl from 1928, who at first scares him. B explains to the guy that she is a ghost, you can only see her by wearing a ring, which she stole from the museum before being hit by a car. Then she woke up here, but she could no longer go outside. Since then it has been a ghost that comes with the house. Beatrix also notes that she can touch things, but not people. Cole doesn't like all this, he took off the ring, goes to school, where Mr. Porter is encouraging the students to take part in a talent competition. And when he returns, the guy finds his mother, rewatching a video of him and his father when he was still alive. In the bedroom, Cole puts on the ring and lets the resilient be into his life again. However, he immediately tells her that he is not looking for friends either among the living or among the dead. Therefore, he invites them to simply coexist peacefully in the same room. Abby, looking at posters with musicians, admits that she also loves music. At breakfast, Katerina cannot find salt. And when B kindly places the salt shaker on the table, the guy lies that it was he who removed the salt from the shelf, since it is generally harmful to her body. Cole puts the ring on and promises not to take it off if the ghost doesn't bother his mother. After which he shocks the girl that she has been living here for 100 years, since B herself thought that she had been dead for only 20 years. At this moment it turns out that B could not leave the house because the ring was lying there, together with its carrier Cole. It may well come out. A girl learns what a selfie is, sees a drone for the first time, gets acquainted with changes in music over 100 years, watches historical documentaries. In response, she teaches the guy to dance the Charleston. And B also admits that in her time airplanes had just begun to appear. I dreamed of becoming a pilot, or at least seeing a plane up close. The girl persuades Cole to go to school with him, since she once went there. Meanwhile, school children are preparing for Halloween and Lydia is surprised in a creepy way that a classmate didn't come up with a costume for himself at the same time as an occultist. She feels the presence ghost and the guy takes off the ring just in case, which the girl also notices. Cole finds Biz's piano and she offers to play along with her on the guitar, after which the guys sing a beautiful melody together. Lydia finds in her grandfather's store a book with a picture of a ring and then watches the video, which says that it is actually into parts, and both are cursed so that no one can steal them. The one who divides the ring must soon die a violent death and is doomed to wander the earth forever, being tied to a cursed artifact until the decorations are reconnected with his half. B asks Cole why he doesn't want to participate in the school talent show. Here he admits that he hasn't played since his musician father died of a heart attack. The girl is sad that all she can do is watch people who grow old and die, although she herself dreams of being back in her old life for just a day, and also reports that today is the anniversary of her death. To which Cole decides to show her New York at night and brings a ghost to a Gatsby-themed party, thereby immersing her in her native atmosphere. It immediately turns out that B for some reason has become tangible, and people can see her, so the guys both dress up in appropriate party costumes. and the girl drags the guy onto the stage to participate in Charlie's competition. And although both show, I don't understand what, the couple is kissing for the first time. Afterwards, Cole takes Bea to the cemetery, where she sees a plane taking off up close, what she, according to her, always dreamed of. However, when the clock strikes 12, he becomes a ghost again. In the morning, Lydia asks Cole to come to her grandfather's store and tells everything that I found about the ring that I saw on him at school. Therefore, the girl confidently declares that the guy must be haunted by a ghost and that this ghost becomes material only once a year on the day of his death. Lydia also found out that the second part of the ring is in the New York History Museum, and if they are combined, the soul of the dead man will finally find peace. But tomorrow there should be an auction at the museum, where the cursed artifact will also be exhibited. Cole, realizing that he could lose Bea forever, still decides to tell her about the curse. However, at home the girl arranges a romantic atmosphere for him, and, not allowing him to get a word in, he demands to perform one of his songs. Cole fulfills the ghost's request, and Bea insists that he must perform at the talent show, and she, in turn, promises to listen to him in the front row, after which the girl asks what he wanted to tell her, to which the guy in love lies that he has already forgotten. The next day, Cole watches the auction, but still hesitates to buy the second part ring so that Bea can leave him forever. So Lot is acquired by someone else. However, when the girl accidentally reads Lydia's message asking about the auction and the ghost, the guy has to admit everything. Bea reacts to Cole's action quite sharply, saying that she is not his property to control her fate like that, so the ghost asks you to just leave the ring in the music class and not wear it again. Lydia calls Cole, but Mom answers that he is supposedly now rehearsing at school with friends, after which he comes to dance. And a classmate, knowing that Cole has no friends, goes to look for him in the music class, where he hears that someone invisible is playing the piano, after which Lydia puts on the ring and finally meets the ghost, to whom he says that Cole, of course, did the wrong thing by keeping silent about the auction, but he's actually a good guy, just lonely. Meanwhile, Cole himself, preparing for a report on The Great Gatsby, talks with his mother about this work, unwittingly putting himself in the place of the main character, not having the opportunity to be with the girl he loves. And Katerina noticed. Family photo on laptop tells son that he misses his father very much and is sorry that he left this world, but at the same time, memories of how happily she lived with her husband outweighs the bitterness of loss. After all, she has nothing to regret in this relationship. Cole, realizing how wrong he had done, calls the museum under the guise of buying a ring today. Rich finds out that it will be sent from the museum only tomorrow, so the guy rushes to school, where he apologizes to Bea, saying that the ring is still in the museum in New York. Suddenly, Lydia, who has come down, offers to take them there. The company reaches its destination at night. The couple goes to the department for preparing purchase lots for shipment, where he finds a box with the second cursed artifact. The young people kiss goodbye and Cole takes off the ring to connect him with his other half, while Bea's ghost disappears forever. The upset guy returns home and picks up Bea Jenkins' photo album, and then suddenly pictures appear, in which the girl finally finished school and was able to fly on an airplane, got married and gave birth to children, which Cole was incredibly happy about. As it turned out, Beatrix got a second chance, so instead of taking half the ring, she put it back and didn't end up getting hit by the car. Cole gives Mr. Porter a report on The Great Gatsby, where he writes that a person does not need to try to return the past. After all, it will always be with you if you keep it in memory. In this case, the past can even pass through many years to come and illuminate the path for man in his time, like Green, from the novel. With this thought, Cole goes to school to fulfill the ghost girl's wish and finally perform on the school stage. And Bea, whose fate was here in 1928, suddenly hears this singing and, remembering his promise, goes to the assembly hall to support a friend, standing in front of him right next to the stage. So this story ends. What do you think about it? I look forward to your comments with reviews of the film, and I also count on your likes and subscriptions if you like what we do. That's all I have for today. You watched my channel. See you again. Bye.